As always.
You are all both fortunate and again unfortunate.
Results may
No.
vary.
It depends on what you look at.
And some of it mixed. 5 minutes. Could you not be yourself for 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's basically it. Yep.
I've been twice.
I've been several times, and to any of those who do intend to, I do recommend. It is a very nice line. Eh.
Yeah.
Yes.
T3's been run in this season.
Oh yeah, because a lot of people, a lot of people are probably going to be wanting to ride behind her. First time in 75 years.
That, and she'll probably go on tour during the season at some point, I imagine.
Oh, she goes to mid-hands. I'm seeing her there. But yeah.
Oh, can you hear me now? I think.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you could, but the live stream couldn't. So shall we start that all over again?
Oh, you.
USB didn't pick up my microphone. So hello again, people. I am your host, Ben, to our very first live and so far failing Trackside Talks live stream. I do apologise on that one. I just looked at OSB and saw that my mic wasn't moving.
Let me guess, they could hear us, but not you.
Yes, pretty much. So they got half the conversation, which is
Angvar.
helpful. So yes, we're going to be, as I said, I'm here with Stuart today and Nick.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking some good news, some bad news, some interesting news, and of course the North Yorkshire Moors Railway not being itself for 5 minutes, which is what Stuart shouted about. But obviously,
I'm not doing the joke again.
Yes. But obviously, what we're talking about is the Swanish Railway volunteers have launched the survival appeal for £450,000 down in Dorset because they are trying to raise their cash reserves before the main running season.
Just in case anything happens.
Yeah, over the first quarter of the year. And I just said, like I said, the T3's just come out and they're running her in. So that was my half of the contribution, really. So you heard the rest of it.
Imagine if they do send her out on tour, though, it will bring some cash flow in.
Potentially, yes. But again, you've got to think of the cost of transporting her and whatnot. So, but yeah, £450,000 doesn't actually sound that much, really, when you think the Severn Valley wanted over £1 million.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it could be worse. A lot worse.
Yeah.
Could be bold and have a big. Sorry. Carry on.
So, Flying Rabbit is lurking. So hello. But yes.
Okay.
Apparently they have over 4,000 members. So
that's a lot.
If everyone gave 10 to 15 quid, that would bump it up quite quickly. What, 15, 4, 1, 2, 3, £60,000 there if everyone gave 15 quid. If everyone gave 50, that's £200,000 of the 4,000 members.
Oh crikey!
So, but yes, that's bit of bad news there because again, it's another railway struggling for finances.
In terms of finances, I have one good news story that came out a little bit recently.
Oh yeah.
Well, it turned good. It came to light when 419 came back to Bowness that a Westinghouse had went.
Ah, yes. For
Yeah,
those
so they needed £6,000 for a new one.
Oh,
You will not believe how quickly that was raised.
very quickly.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
go on then.
So yeah, she's getting a new one, definitely. That's I think the money's been completely raised now. If not, it's not too far off.
Yeah. For those who don't know,
419 is the
419.
surviving Cali tank.
Yes, I've yet to see her, but I've seen her online and she's gorgeous. Even though she's not in Cali Blue, I still think she is a
She's
very
not
nice
going to be
looker.
in BR Black for much longer, though, Nick.
Oh yeah, because they do it seasonally, don't they?
They have said, the SRPS have said she will be getting a repaint. The BR Black is only for 1 calendar year.
Oh,
So, fingers crossed, here's hoping she goes into something she's not been in before, LMS Crimson Lake.
what loco is this again?
419
Four,
Cali tank.
she's a 44. She's an 044 tank engine.
Okay.
She's when
She's
she
lovely.
came. Yeah, she is very pretty. I've yet to see her myself.
Well,
But-
since we're talking about one railway in Dorset, should we talk about the other railway down in Dorset?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
The West Somerset Railway.
That's Somerset.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
not,
was.
that's not Dorset. That's not
Somerset and
Dorset.
Dorset Railway Trust has reached a provisional agreement with the West Somerset Railway Heritage Trust for the shed and track at Washford, apparently.
Yeah, that's been kind of brewing for a long while.
If I remember right, wasn't that the one where there was two groups at a railway and the parent railway kicked the other group off?
I think there was a bit more to it than that, but that's the general gist of it, yeah.
Mm.
And now they're buying the Washford site.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was the Somerset and Dorset Railway Trust, which owned some of the locos, or a loco, and some
They own
stuff.
2,
Yeah,
at least.
and they
They own
Yeah, it was-
Kilmerston, which is I think a packet.
Yeah, it's a
and
packet.
88, which is the 7F.
yeah, which was housed at the West Somerset Railway, and then the
Yeah.
West Somerset Railways kicked them off.
So now all their rolling stock and locos have gone to the Mid-Hands.
Speaking of 88, she's just come out of traffic, and they are hoping to get her overhauled as soon as. By the way,
A statement here says all the rolling stock has now all been moved from the site, apart from coach number 4, which is waiting for loan agreements to be finished. The 2 diesel shunters have now been sold, or will be leaving in the coming days. Our exit from Washford, after all these years, has been seen some good news stories too.
at least
We've
things.
put on long-term loans many items of rolling stock artifacts and buildings, such as the Wells Hut and lamp room, with lamp posts and signal posts also being distributed to like-minded trusts.
From another thing that was said from one of the volunteers I know, I think the West Somerset want the site for like coach storage or something.
Yeah,
Or
that
garage works maybe.
yeah, that. If I remember correctly, I believe that is what they want it for. Yeah, currently the West Somerset is mostly in the good, and then well,
And then there's the ungated crossings, which we'll gloss over.
I was more going to bring up the walkouts.
Well, consider the ungated crossings are like 5 miles an hour.
Oh yeah.
Ungated. I thought you said
Yeah.
iron-gated.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're ungated, Ben.
Iron, not un. I heard iron-gated, not ungated.
Oh, the accent again.
Yeah. and I'm dumb. But what were you saying about washout?
I think with the heavy rain that was happening recently, there was a bit of a washout somewhere along the West Somerset.
Oops. Speaking of
Again,
washout,
from the same volunteer.
speaking of washouts, don't cry for me, Argentina. Your train
Oh,
is
dear.
yes.
off the track.
Yes, the Argentinian local and its coaches having a bit of a tip.
Yeah, unfortunately, people have, from what I've read, have been hurt in that. But yes,
No, no one killed. I hope.
no, but
Thank,
some
for, thank
quite
God
some
for
bad
that.
injuries from what I've read. I've only seen it on Facebook. I've not heard anything since, so I'm just going off this Facebook post. But there are pictures, and they are nasty.
You want to know
11:15 that
something?
morning, as we were coming along at 17 kilometres an hour, we hit a washout on the line. Locomotive 104 rolled over and took the entire train down the embankment.
You want to know something quite bad about that, Ben?
Go on.
That's not the first time that's happened.
Is it not?
There was a second time.
Oh.
Well, basically, as far as I know from a friend, that is the second time that loco's gone over. The first time is actually captured on video, and I've seen it. And
You'll have to find that clip and send it me.
oh yeah, I'll quickly find it now.
But apparently, the rolling stock was wooden coaches with wooden burners.
I hope there wasn't a fire afterwards.
It was very high risk, apparently. But apparently, everyone got out, worked to help the injured, and that's it. And they just had to wait for rescue then, because obviously, by the looks of the pictures, they're in the middle of nowhere.
I just found it, Ben.
Send us the link.
The accident happened in 2011.
Oh dear.
So this is the second time a loco's tipped over.
In the chat. I'll see if I can get it up onto the stream.
Yeah, just give me a moment. I just need to find the actual video because the one I'm looking at is sort of like a very long video.
Oh, you want to find the actual clip?
If I can.
Right. Okay.
Shall we move on while he looks for
Yeah,
it?
we'll move on while he looks for that. Because...
Got it.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, that was quick.
And something else I noticed in this particular video is that I believe something has actually blown off one of the roofs of the coaches. Here you are, in Trackside. There you are.
Yeah, let me just...
As far as I can fathom, that's the 2011 incident.
I don't know how well this is going to show up on stream.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go. Oh.
The coach went first.
Yep. And then there goes the loco.
How the devil could a coach drag the engine over?
What the... What?
Yeah. It makes you
What?
sort of... It sort of makes you realise, doesn't it?
So top of the roof blows off.
And then it rolls the coach over.
If you look at the smoke...
Whoa!
High winds. She's out
Yeah,
in the middle of a valley, and it's high winds, you can see.
Yeah, it does say in the description, quote, in 2011, high winds ripped the roof off one car. The roof fell down in between two cars, derailed one, which then caused the entire train to derail and roll over. No one was seriously injured. The cameraman and his group were first on scene to give assistance. The locomotive and the locomotive and cars were all recovered by June 1st, 2011. And keep in mind, that was due to high winds, not a washout like the second one.
Let's see. There's the rollover. Some footage. Let me share screen with you chaps because I found some footage of inside.
Oh, I think I know which footage. It's I think it's the 2011 one. But yeah, it just goes to show that even no matter what age, it still is scary. Yeah, see, look at that. There you are. See, and you got to think of what those poor people had to go through when that loco.
She's right upside down.
Yeah, I know.
I imagine they would have had to do a green goddess and ram the boiler full. Just to prevent it from exploding.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, as far as we can tell, nobody was majorly hurt in this most recent one.
Yep.
Which is good.
Unlike what is currently happening on your stream, Ben.
Yeah.
That's only hurting their reputation at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
We'll talk about this one first. So.
Yes.
Yes.
Good news.
We have another heritage railway.
Barnsley.
No, but
Yes.
Esco's coming back.
Barnsley could be coming back. Yeah. Oh, Elscar Heritage Centre in Barnsley.
Yeah, that's been having problems ever since the Mardy Monster incident. Like, Jesus Christ.
Didn't the council shut it down and then start tearing everything up?
I want to
Not
say
sure.
yes, but at the same time, I don't know if they started tearing everything up. I think they were in the progress of redoing something.
I remember seeing in a pile of concrete. Close
But it's
during
good.
COVID.
But it's definitely good news for someone I know, because that means he's got somewhere to go and volunteer now that isn't tiny.
Should we give the viewers some context about the little Mardy monster incident,
Yes,
or
because I
not
don't know
really?
anything about
If they
it.
don't know.
Yes,
Right,
because I don't
what's
know anything
happened?
about
What happened was Mardy Monster was sold without someone's permission.
What is Mardy Monster?
Mardy Monster is that massive 060 packet thing that used to work at Mardy Colliery. I'll get you a picture.
Yeah,
where is
because
she?
when you see it, you'll be like, "Core blood." You'll be core blinking Nora.
I think the official designation is the Packet OQ class.
Packet OQ.
Yes.
Yeah, if your stream is
I'll bring the picture up.
if the YouTube stream is also showing your screen, Ben, they'll be able to see it as well.
Holy
That's Mardy
moly.
Monster there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is massive.
She is.
That's a big girl. And someone sold it without permission.
Well,
Yeah.
what happened was I think it was a bit more complicated than someone selling it without permission. Somebody sold it, and without telling the other party, they sold it again. But i.e., they sold it to one person, and that person, without telling the original owner that they'd sold it on to someone else.
Yeah, but they sold it.
And then the person who had come to claim Mardy Monster was the guy who had bought it from the middle party.
Oh, and so the
Yeah.
guy that was thinking he was meeting person 1 actually ended up meeting person 2.
Mhm.
Who the hell are you?
Something like that, yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, she is currently somewhere. I don't know where. But she is being overhauled, I think.
She exists.
She still exists, yeah.
I mean, it's a lot better than what some engines got, where they got purchased, sold again, and then cut
And then
out.
there was a glorious one I saw earlier. Somebody in like an early railway magazine from like the 60s or 70s was complaining to the Bluebell. Or was it recently? No, it might have been recently. Somebody complained to the Bluebell that they had preserved the Duke Dog because it was quote unquote unworthy of preservation and just a mashup of two engines when they could have saved a North London tank from the Scrapper's Torch.
What?
We're just sitting here thinking, you do realise it's parked just next to it, right?
Really? You could have saved this engine.
People's
It's right
got
there.
one. People's got it. They even listed its number in particular, and I'm just looking at it like, does this guy not realise that that number is at the Bluebell with the said Duke Dog you're complaining about?
Oh no.
It's just a pure case of you're complaining about one
Do
thing
your
when it's literally
research, please.
pretty much.
I mean, talking about doing things without permission, that actually segues quite nicely into one of my favourite stories this year.
Oh dear.
North
Oh
Yorkshire
yes,
Moors again.
they're at it again.
Can't do
Ah,
anything
yes.
without being in the news. So let's just recap for those who haven't watched this, watched us so far. You've had them accidentally reenacting slip coaches in the middle of nowhere, where the
Oopsie
last
daisies.
coach of the train disconnected itself. They've had, quite spectacularly, the Q6 explode on a crossing.
Yeah, and it's become quite the meme.
And it's become
Less
quite
about
a
that.
They have had a car rear-end one of their trains
Somehow.
on a farmer's crossing.
I did not know that. I'll
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
to learn about that
I'm
later.
still baffled as how they managed that. The train was right in front of them.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, they had that woman on TikTok moaning about the train as well.
I think that was East Lancs.
Might have been East Lancs, but either way, it's still funny.
Mhm.
And now, 5 volunteers have been suspended for threatening to kneecap office managers and other abusive behaviour, renting out a volunteer's cottage that should be free accommodation for volunteers, and somehow building a turntable without permission.
Yeah.
How do you build a turntable without permission?
I don't know.
It literally is just the case of you're walking down, you glance over, you see this turntable, it's like, oh, that's no. Wait a minute.
But yeah, the station Levisham, famously used in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, has been run by the same lead volunteer for 40 years. They have about 60 members, running as a semi-independent entity from the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. And it's in a confidential report that somehow has leaked to the Daily Mail. The free cottage was being charged for and offered as a short break accommodation, so potentially charging either the volunteers or random members of the public to come and stay at this cottage.
Here's the problem I have with that. They have a thing called the camping coaches.
Yep.
Is that not enough?
Clearly not.
But yeah,
sadly.
somehow, like I said, threatening other managers and somehow building a turntable.
Like, how do you build a turntable without permission? And whose permission did they not get? Was it the council?
I don't know. But the police are involved.
Oh, Lord.
Like,
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think he can even help the
Ooh.
North Yorks.
Hmm?
It is alleged that unknown persons were allowed to be part of the group without going through the official recruitment process.
Oh, dear.
Someone's got some splaining to do.
Claims were also made that privately owned rail wagons had been connected to NYMR utilities, and that parts of the station had been vandalised with locks broken and superglued. It further suggested that values booklets had been ripped up and framed photographs defaced, and misleading claims about the station was to close had been made.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's gonna get in trouble.
The report accepted that the North Yorkshire Moors Railway culture had exacerbated the situation and there had been missed opportunities to widely engage with volunteers. There is
Oh,
also no
dear
official
boy.
framework in place for how station groups should operate. The review had found the group had disregarded the needs of the North Yorkshire Moor Railway, safety and compliance.
Oh, dear. And it just seems to be one thing after another with them, isn't it? Back at me.
Work referred to in their station blog had been carried out contrary to management instructions. The 5 suspended did not embody values and actively went against them.
What other things have been said about them? On the
Oh.
subject of the cottage, they pointed out it was rented by volunteers from 1975 until 1990, when it was taken
One of
over
the
by the
members
railway.
allegedly withheld account books and keys would be banned permanently unless they were handed over, and police advice would be sought if they refused to do so.
Oh, dear.
Oops.
I think that's more than an oops. Good Baldwin.
Hmm.
This is not good.
Yep, this is gonna get.
But
We're gonna
yes.
find out who's done it.
Yeah, but
And then,
yeah.
Speaking of doing things,
Going
or rather
against,
not,
going against the law, and he wrote in his rule book. What was it?
regular lawbreaker
Regular
in his book.
lawbreaker. Yes, that was it. The West Coast Railways.
again.
Again, our favourite
Spad.
tour company.
We should just call it Spad Coast Railway.
I prefer my own charter company at this point, and it doesn't even exist.
Yes, West
I
Coast
mean,
Railways
I
is...
think Nick's seen my coaches.
But yes,
Yes,
so
they
West
are
Coast
very nice.
Railways currently in court
Again.
because they are they're trying to overturn the Office of Road and Rail's decision to revoke their exemption to operate heritage steam locomotives and carriages on the main line because they are refusing again to put central locking systems in place on the carriages, and saying that they have multiple members of staff at these doors to make sure nobody's doing anything stupid.
You can make it as safe all you want to abide by the health and safety regulations, but nothing is ever stupid proof.
No.
Especially since some people don't know how mechanical doors work. They just because I've seen some people on the platforms, they just stand there expecting the door to open for them. They don't know what a handle is, apparently, some of them.
So apparently this alternative method that they have is at least one steward per carriage to operate doors and monitor drop light windows, a train manager who delivers a safety briefing for stewards before dispatch of every service, a guard who delivers a safety briefing for passengers at the start of each journey and monitors procedures through the rest of the trip. Now, I've actually been on a WCR tour. I did not get a safety briefing from a guard. And
when was this?
A couple of years ago. I'm not going to say which tour, and I'm not going to say when. Not publicly anyway, but there was not very good stewardess standards, and I never got a safety brief from what I can remember. But again, I know how BR Mark 1s work.
Now, here's one problem I have. At least one steward per carriage. That's not going to work.
No.
Like, let's be honest. The average Mark 1 coach, give or take, has between 4 and 6 doors.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me they're going to be patrolling that for the length of the tour, just back and forward? No, they're not.
See, the thing is, I can see their side of the argument because they're saying it would to put the CDL central door locking in would cost £7 million, wiping out any profits for close to a decade, which would deem it unviable for business.
Here's the thing they could have been doing, though. LSL have been gradually doing it for years. What stopped them from gradually introducing it like one coach at a time?
Money.
Pretty much.
That, and they're overhauling locos at Carnforth all the time.
Well, yeah. Safety is, of course, WCR's priority, and WCR supports the OR decide to continue to drive safety improvements. Oh,
Tagme has something to say about that.
How have you got at least 5 spads under your belt and at least 1 line side fire?
Yes, as I said, Tangmail would like to have a word with you.
And I can say that. That also spatted a few years ago?
No, it was a Black 5. I think it was a Black 5.
Well, they've definitely had several spads, and Tangmere and a Hall were one of them.
I'm surprised.
Black 5 was recent, I
remember the first time they fell on my radar was when they did have a steam train go through a red light. So it is a thing with them. But yeah, it's definitely becoming a bit of a joke.
I'm pretty sure it's past the jokes.
Well, yeah, West Coast Railway is sort of past a joke at this point, and I do feel sorry for the crews and the volunteers and everything that work on these trains, because at the end of the day, they're just trying to do their job. It's the management that's causing this.
The bean counters as well.
Yeah, it's the management and the financiers and the accountants that are causing all these troubles. It's very much becoming the money episode, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yep.
They want money, they don't pay for safety, and then they wonder why these type of things
and I
happen.
wouldn't be surprised if they get fined for it.
Well,
Oh, they are.
I mean, if they lose their exemption, they're not running. It's simple as that. They shut down.
Then it'll be a good question of where most of the other locos would go if that happens, that is.
I mean, they could always go to the Somerset and Dorset since they've bought more track.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
A post on Facebook, the Somerset and Dorset Railway Heritage Trust is pleased to announce the purchase of an important section of the former S&D mainline railway track bed. So, section running from just south of
Chilcompton
Tunnels to Reedham Bridge, a length of 750 yards.
And hopefully it won't be too long before they're in Chilcompton proper.
But yes, so we could see 750 extra yards on top of the Somerset and Dorset.
I'm hoping we see a 7F over there at some point.
Oh, that would be hellfire.
That would be nice.
That or Kilmersdon. She worked not too far from there.
It's actually funny, Stuart, because as far as I know, Kilmersdon is actually there right now.
Do you know what I would like to see?
Yeah, she is, isn't she?
You know what I would like to see running again?
What?
Stirling single.
I can see why.
Personally, for me, Jones Goods.
Well, the Stirling
Yeah, I knew you
single,
said
the Stirling single would be nice, but I do know that we are going to be able to see one in miniature soon.
Oh, yeah.
Because Rapido
Another batch.
have announced 3 new models. Obviously, one of them is a Stirling single. Type 1, if I'm correct, Stuart?
I think it's number 1's batch anyway.
Yeah, it's the one with the wheel arch that's got the holes in it.
Yeah, it's number 1.
Yeah, that's number 1's batch, first batch.
They're doing they're currently doing a rerun of the large tender, and then they're doing the one which I know Ben is probably going to be very excited about, the one with the Starrock tender. Yes.
Okay. They're also doing
Porter Power Twins.
I was going to say those last. What's the tender engine that they're doing? The
The Southeastern Chatham
one, I think.
Here, I'll quickly go
it's
and check now.
It's either one or the C, because I know there's been a C done before, and I think that was Bachman.
Yeah.
And then obviously they've got the Porter Power Twins.
There is another engine.
And here's the thing with those ones, though, Ben.
What?
They're doing the differences between the two of them. Because they're not quite identical.
Ah, I did not know that.
And the best bit, they're doing them in the pseudo Thomas yellow.
Yes, I have seen that, number 96800.
And the only time I've seen those two in that livery was online, and guess what they were doing?
Playing Bill and Ben.
They were pulling an HST into the platform at Minehead.
But yes,
there's actually a very short video about it, but
yes,
just to answer your query, Ben, it is in fact the 01, the Southeastern Chatham 01, and what they're also doing, which I'm really interested in, is a brand new
taking my money.
That as well, is they're doing brand new J52s.
Ooh.
Great Northern saddle tanks, which are pretty prevalent in railway preservation since the first engine bought from BR is of course 1270. Let me think, 1247. Yeah, the old lady. So
well,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Rapido seems to be knocking it out of the park at the moment.
I'll tell you what they've
Unlike
definitely
someone
been
else.
doing is taking my money because I've had three things in recently from them.
Fair enough. I wish I had space, time, and money to buy all
'Cause-
this lot, but
Because I've ordered 2 gunpowder vans and the Titfield Saloon.
nice. But yeah, they did the Titchfield set, didn't they? And then now they've got the Porta Par that sort of took the internet by storm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there was a thing with the Sterling single adverts earlier, wasn't there, Nick?
Was that?
Yeah. It's a little bit of a cheeky, breaky joke.
It's a jab at these pop-up ads.
Right.
You want to know what it was?
Go on.
Because where is it? What channel is it in your server, Nick?
Oh, I know where it is. I think.
Where is it? Where's the model railway chat?
I've already got it. So, as a jab, this is a jab. State and quote, steamy single in your area with new tender behind.
Oh,
Not even a joke. Let me get the picture. A friend of me and Stuart saw it, and it's a little funny, isn't it, Stuart?
For the start, I thought, oh my god, they did not.
Yep. Here is the image itself. Come on, you're gonna love a company that does that type of
You
shit.
put it in the archive
Okay,
chat, but
sorry.
still,
Archive. Ooh, apologies. Hang
still
on.
funny.
I'll put it in the correct chat. Botheration. I lost it. It's still very funny though. For Pete's sake, now I'm gonna have to go get it again. Come on.
But yeah, they like I said, they do seem to have knocked it out of the park a bit. Unlike Hornby that tried, was it Hornby that wanted a £500 for a Flying Scotsman model?
No, that wasn't them.
Was it not?
That was Marklin.
Was that Marklin?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I think the only reason they've done that is because it's A, new tooling, and B, British engines and HO scale are very hard to come by.
Oh, is that why it's so much? Is it?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right.
But yeah, there you go, Ben.
I think because which came first? Was it double O or HO?
I think it was a 00.
And then everyone else goes to HO, and we just stubbornly stick to
yeah, because
double O.
the scaling for double O's are all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah, because some of the engines are like bloody massive.
Yeah.
Then you got because if you compare the old LMY Pug to the new one, the differences is you can tell it's there.
Well, it's all because of the old motors and everything, isn't it? But
Yeah, because they were huge.
yar.
Yeah.
But,
And then you have Smokey Joe, which used the bleeding Skeletrix motor.
yes.
Just go, "Meow."
But yes, let's get back on track.
Well, I'm driving a Clan right now, so I am on track.
Well, talking of being on track, or should I say, engaged
Off
and
track.
everything, did you know buffers have a gauge?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they have to be a certain width apart to, buffer up to all the rolling stock. And we obviously had that
And stay horizontal.
and stay. Well, I mean, they do stay horizontal in this incident, but
No, I'd say that was more diagonal.
well, they don't stay straight with the gauge. They definitely split. Germany heard about Flying Scotsman's bash and dash up at Strasbourg and decided to go Halbsibir.
Yes, they have. Do you want me to read out the post?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, let me get it. If you want to get the image up on your screen, Ben, for everyone to see.
Second.
Yep, there it is. Quote, a train accident occurred at the station of Idzor, I think
It's
that's how you say it.
Steinberg district.
Yes, thank you, Stuart. On Friday afternoon, according to initial reports from the police, there was a ranger accident around 12:25 o'clock. A locomotive collided with a passenger train. According to initial reports, several people have been injured. A large delegation of police. Yes, thank you. Of police and emergency services are at the scene. It's heavily damaged the coach carriage too, so much so it's leaking water from the tanks in the roof above the toilets.
Yeah, so if you look on my screen, it doesn't look much, but you've got to think those buffers are designed to remain straight, and if you just actually look between the two red paneling, you can see cracking along the metal.
Hang on, the
Yeah.
ones on the outside have gone as well.
Yeah, both sides have gone, and they've just gone wee.
They decided to go stoing.
They decided
But
to
hey.
split. Yes. So yeah, I think that was obviously translated from German. So where it says there's been a ranger accident, I think that's meant to mean shunting accident, because
Yeah.
Facebook translations.
Yes.
So
yeah.
no video that I can find. There is some there is footage from inside where there's like water pouring out of the roof, because I don't know how many people know this, but especially the BR Mark 1s and some other carriages, water tanks are in the roof for the toilets and tap systems and everything. So yeah,
It's the waste tanks that are in the frames on some of them.
yeah. Or just
So if you
emptied out onto the track bed.
yeah,
How it
so
used to be.
So if you give your coach a hard enough smack, yeah, it's not going to be a nice night for you.
From what I understand, the injuries are a lot worse than what happened with Scotsman in Scotland.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously the damage is also a lot worse because that train now needs to go off for major repairs.
yes, because, well, when you consider Scotsman, we sort of know roughly about the speed. What was it, around 8 miles an hour?
10 to 12 miles an hour.
From what I can fathom, from this amount of damage, this guy was probably going near 15 to 13? Would that be a right amount?
I would probably say 20 plus.
Crikey, it's been like that one peak from that one video. Stuart might know which one I'm referencing.
Oh, I know the one where from the 90s where he comes backing into the station and sends the coach onto the platform.
Yeah, because he's coming in too quick. Do you reckon the driver just had an "oh sugar honey iced tea" moment?
That is crud.
Yeah, that
I really want.
That was definitely it.
Well, I'm going. Not my problem anymore.
No, I've not actually shared the video. 1 minute, the picture. 1 minute, guys. I've shared the wrong screen. There we go. There's the picture I was talking about.
Yes. As you can see, buffers are not meant to be that shape or that direction.
Yeah, so they've gone very, very wide.
Yes. They've become bent. Probably after this is done, I'm going to see if I can find that video of the peak, that is.
That's pretty much everything we've got to talk about.
Speaking of video, there was a plane.
Stuart, I just thought you said there was another failure of a loco yesterday, wasn't there?
Yes, Nigel.
Yes, Sir Nigel Gresley.
Much to my annoyance.
I've not heard about this, so do tell.
Yeah, one of her piston rings kind of fell apart.
Oh.
It's not meant to do that. I think you can tell.
Yeah.
So she's been taken back down south by a Class 20, and do you want to know what told her trains today?
Go on.
A Class 40.
Oh, that'll be the one my friend went to see.
I think it was Arcadia. That's what its name is.
It is.
Was it on the Let me get the picture. No, don't want to change VCs. It was on the Pathfinder, wasn't it?
I think it might have been. It was due to go on the 5 Circular the day.
Was it meant to go through Basingstoke today?
No, it was meant to go up and around the what do you call it? 5 Circle.
Oh, right, okay. So my friend went to see a Class 40 come through Basingstoke today. So I was wondering if it was that one, but obviously not. I was wrong.
Lucky beggar if I'd known. No, I would have liked to have seen a Class 40. I've not seen one. Maybe one day.
I have. It was in York.
But anyway, I'm going to say good night, everybody. So, good night. Stuart.
Moo.
No, that's not how you say good night.
Apologies for that. I'm being quacked at by the AWS.
Good night, Nick.
Goodbye. And try not to